Hey, cats.
Hey, cat. Manga, 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 manga.
Yeah, volume 2. Talking about volume 2. Oh, no Johnny today. No Duncan, unfortunately. This guy's a very busy boy.
Very busy boy.
But, yeah, we're talking about volume 2 today of the manga. Yeah, so that's chapters 15 through 27, I think.
Yep.
Overall, but let's
Yeah,
just kind of talk in generalities.
Yeah, let's do that. Actually,
Real
I like
quick,
that.
and then we'll kind of dive in a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm intrigued. Again, I think the pacing is going pretty quickly, so I think we might be done by volume 3, at least with Kanto.
Yeah,
Red
that's
and
what
blue
it feels
stuff.
like. I think they're sprinting pretty fast. Like they really started like volume 1 was like I caught myself, I caught a Squirtle. It's like it's just like that type of energy, and now it's like fucking legendary birds.
Right. And yeah, so we like, and because
Spoiler.
it's volume 2, it's almost that transition. So we're like, we still kind of have a bit of those like adventure-y type of things in the beginning, but then we get in, then by the end we're like into conspiracy and basically big bad stuff, and it looks like we're gonna ramp up. We're ramping up to basically the finale. So, but overall, yeah, I think this is it was a pretty quick read as opposed to the first volume. I think
For sure.
there was less, I think, to compare. I think overall too.
Yeah.
A lot of kind of what happened in the first volume was just kind of maintained. There were some interesting things I pointed out, but we can kind of get into that when we do like the chapter reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you overall think of it?
I thought it was great. I mean, I think ultimately I like that they kind of, because I feel like at least from like the first series, like the first volume, it felt like they were just like very parallel, very close to the original games. So that was cool because it was nostalgic, and it was like, whoa, like that Poliwhirl's getting stabbed by a pharaoh, like that didn't happen in my main lane, my mainline game, like, right? So it was like cool, like parallels, but still following the story somewhat. And then now I feel like they're connecting some of the almost like you said, like conspiracies that I never really knew where they came from, like the whole thing about like Blaine, like how he's
Right.
like I just knew that Blaine worked on Mewtwo. I didn't know like where his history came from, and I feel like they actually go into that, and I think that was really cool because and you would never know, like if you played the main games, you would never know like who was actually part of Team Rocket and who was just a gym leader. So I think
that was still the craziest thing from last episode. Is like
kind
of, well, actually,
so it's cool to see that story develop.
I could let me bring at least up, just since we're on the subject of the gym leaders. I'm gonna open up the screen share for us.
Yeah.
And as just like last time, I'll keep it open for us, and then when something interesting happens in the story, I'll probably just bring it up in the video, in the edit. But yeah, so like even here, we have, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
We have like a clear delineation actually between the gym leaders, is what it seems like. So we have good guys, spoilers, bad guys.
You're right. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's
wow, I didn't even notice that.
It's this was kind of a nice summary. I just like looking at this stuff. Like you get this with a lot of manga, like what happened previously, and like kind of catches you up. Because I guess sometimes there's crazy people that will jump into a story in the middle of something.
Yeah.
So you kind of get like these things, and yeah, like
I love that
the
they
journey
put
thus
question
far.
marks. I love how they put question marks over the characters that you don't know yet.
Right. Although they made Brock really intimidating. Like,
yeah,
just like
so opposite of the story.
But
Like Brock, relax.
this actually we'll dive into it in a little bit. But I think this was probably my most favorite of the chapters. I think
Hmm.
is Erica's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like the where I felt the most. I think it's where like things kind of slowed down just a touch, where
Yeah.
we got a little bit of characterization and like we got to kind of flesh out the story a little bit. Because everything again, it's going. We're
Yeah.
moving and
Even with like
grooving.
Misty and Blaine, like it's really speeding up.
Right. But in this, like, I think it was like two chapters. We kind of slowed down a little bit, and it was well. We'll get to it. We'll get to
Yeah.
it. Do you want to say anything else before we kind of start the
No,
chapter?
like I said, I love it. I wish they did more volumes, to be honest, because it's. I
Yeah,
feel like they could have done. They could have literally done like every Pokemon.
yeah.
Seeing how they based every chapter around a Pokemon.
It's the nature of what it is. It's like it's with like even with stuff like Yu Yu Hakusho or One Piece or Dragon Ball, it's like they're meant for kids, right? So like they go at a certain pace, but this is meant for like little kids. So it's like you have to maintain their attention. You can't just like wax philosophic about like a villain's like thoughts on something and
Yeah.
really kind of
No
dig
monologues.
deep. Yeah, you can't
Yeah, I could.
like exposition dump and really kind of flush out stuff when you're dealing with like probably the audience was probably under 10 here, whereas
Yeah.
like with something like Dragon Ball, it's like you know 7 to 20 or something is like the ideal audience really for what Shonen Jump. Um, but
Something
yeah,
I
but
something I noticed. Side note:
mhm.
they mentioned that Red is 14. Did you notice that?
No way.
Yeah. They when they end volume 2, they mention like Red, the
Interesting.
14-year-old who has like a big fight coming up. You basically like and to be continuing it. But I was like interesting that they made him
A little
significantly
older.
older.
Yeah. I mean that's Shonen protagonist age usually. Well, for the most part, it's like around that age. I mean, he's a little older than some of them, but like how old is Ash? Like 10?
He's 10
Yeah, right.
in the
So
show and the game.
that's a big difference.
Yeah, 4 years is a lot.
Mm. Especially at that time in one's life. Okay, so let's go. We're starting with chapter 15. Okay. Thought alert. Thought alert.
He said thought alert.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
uh,
Where she really is the hoe of the hoe of Kanto.
we start off though like kind of abruptly. It's like, oh, Bulbasaur just okay casually evolves. Like we just I guess we're meant to assume he was grinding in between the volumes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we just jump off, and if you like Bulbasaur, well, screw you, because now we have Ivysaur. Then Miss Thought arrives.
Can you zoom in at all, by the way?
Yeah, hold on one sec. We have what she will now be called as Green officially in the states. She comes and shows off her Pokemon items and gets all red all flustered.
Drugs. Ta-da!
Look at that! Look at how beat ready is. Classic.
You don't want my items?
Simp.
Yeah.
He's paying for her OF. She so
And a dude is managing her account.
so red
Wow, she really like me. I could tell. This is
like,
hilarious. The
you know
reflection of this.
it's there's something to be said with like this type of humor. It just gets me every time. It's like it's the same formula, but for me, it's just I get a kick out of it. It's just
Yeah.
like just the stupid guy
Listen, it hits
just
that little
getting
like
punked
quirky
on.
little inner child, that little side of you.
We've all been there though.
Yeah.
It's like to be fair, we've all been there.
I remember my
Uh,
first time.
we've all gotten our
That pin,
badges swiped.
and we've all gotten that pincer.
Okay, so I actually did want to point out because okay, Pikachu. This is we're in a new volume, so new volume, new Pikachu apparently because Pikachu was wiping the floor with Team Rocket,
Yeah.
who had super effective stuff against Pikachu, and now Pikachu's yes, I guess it's for the gag, but just got bodied by Pinsir for no reason.
Yeah.
Granted, yes, the gag is, oh my god, look at all my items. I'm gonna be amazing. Look at my cool outfit. And then,
But bodied.
yeah, it just gets kicked
I feel like that's
really far.
really what they were. I feel like
Yeah, they were going for
they
the
almost like
joke.
moved the attention away from Pikachu being busted.
Right.
I think to like give more attention to other Pokemon, which
Yeah, I mean,
which they almost do the opposite in the show. They like only make Pikachu good.
it's just my, call it my Aspergery brain, but it's like logical consistency.
Mm,
But no, they obviously were going for the joke. So
yeah,
uh, I forgive you. I forgive you, Pokemon. Full
justice
restore,
done.
please. That doesn't look like Nurse Joy. Oh yeah, right. So this is kind of what makes the trio is you have red, blue, green, and I guess green, the girl, the thought, stole the Squirtle. So all three of them have the starters from Professor Oak, and Professor Oak had the Squirtle stolen by Green. So
Yeah,
Red's kind of making that connection. I think.
he doesn't
I know
realize it's her.
he will make that connection.
Yeah,
Okay, so they kind of Red kind of finds Green again. She's selling off more items and crap. Uh, Chase goes
he's working the
boom.
streets.
It's working that corner. But as Red starts chasing, we get her throwing the Pokeball into water. I guess. Oh, okay. So she's using Surf. Right. Okay. We get into a little bit of a chase, but then your boy, it's real hard to remember all the Pokemon this kid caught because I'm like, oh yeah, right, he caught the Snorlax too. So the Snorlax
Yeah,
blocks Green's path, and that kind of settles that chase.
he uses
Uh,
Snorlax a lot to just like get in the way.
yeah, he's utility,
Yeah,
utility, 100%.
that's his HM slave.
Did so she goes back into cutesy mode. It's all lovey dovey, and we get a little fight. Okay, right. So this is so uh the Snorlax Wartortle fight is kind of pretty quick. We get Snorlax kind of styling, blowing up everything, causing Green to be all, oh, woe is me. Oh, I am just a poor little girl. And she plays possum, basically. As Red approaches, he kind of gets all infatuated with the Wartortle, and then that's where we get the special line. I think. Where does he say it?
Love that they use the same animation from the game. Also, look at that word turtle.
Yeah, she's
Word turtle right from Red and
where
Blue.
didn't think I'd see that. Oh, right, here we go. Here's the line though. Didn't think I'd see that coming. You should be more careful before you try to outsmart a trainer with 2 badges. Whoop-de-doo. But okay, so now that we kind of understand after the events have happened and he loses his badges, she played possum and stole them. So that kind of now intertwines both their destinies, basically.
Yeah.
It's a game of cat and mouse at this point, with Team Rocket maybe on the trail as well.
They're definitely on the
Next
trail.
chapter.
I can confirm.
Next chapter. Chapter 16. So this, again, just like the last chapter, we kind of start with a bit of a bang, like with Ivysaur, Bulbasaur evolving into Ivysaur. We have Red dressed as Team Rocket. I think it was pretty obvious he was in disguise, but it did grab my attention because I was like, how does one get into this situation? Well, he was really.
It's cool that they do that too. They kind of foreshadow with the entire chapter.
Yeah, I would say
like every time,
chapter to chapter, like each individual like mini story,
yeah,
is laid out pretty well. I'd say the only thing I'd only have a knock against really just is the pacing's just maybe a little too fast.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't fully transition one chapter to another. It kind of just feels like a brand new chapter every time.
Right. It feels it does feel like an episode of Pokemon, kind of. It's like, yeah. This happened today.
Today we're doing this.
Right.
It's not like, oh, last episode this happened.
And in a sense, though, they do kind of strike a nice balance because you still get that like episode of the week type of thing, but you kind of still move the overarching story along. So
yeah.
And that's kind of what happens here. We get our little our mini story, but then really we're kind of slowly and then suddenly moving to the end. So this was kind of funny.
He's just trying to finesse his like Team Rocket.
Right. So we get, okay. So Red is in Team Rocket, or we find out that Red is disguised as Team Rocket. He now wants to find out how where she could have gone. And then he overhears Team Rocket talking about Green. And now he wants to get information from Team Rocket and Green's whereabouts. So he somehow knocks out a grown man and disguises himself as Team Rocket. Kind of fits him pretty well, though. He looks pretty much like a bad guy. We get another shot of Mewtwo. Now,
so trippy.
Yeah, we could talk about it. We could talk about the end.
Let's look at it. I mean, just look at the animation itself. It's like,
yeah,
in true like DNA forming.
Right.
Like I just love the way they drew this because they never did it this way, where they like gave you like half the body. Like this is truly a genetically modified.
It's a genetic freak.
Yeah, exactly. Aren't we all? But it's freaking. It's honestly pretty cool to see it this way. The graphicness.
Is that a Pokemon?
Is that a?
Okay, so you can actually see Blaine here. Actually, I didn't notice that in my first read through. As you can see, you're recruiting Mewtwo from the Mew cell you recovered. That's why we want that girl.
Yo,
our only hope is capturing you and getting back the disc.
Floppy hard drive.
I was gonna say all the genetic code on a 25 megabyte floppy drive.
Yeah, literally. A 10 for $5 package from Staples.
And you know, I'm trying to think back in like '96, like what was like a top end floppy? It might have been like even less than 25 megabytes. Might have been kilobytes at that point.
Shut up.
Yeah.
The amount of essays I printed at the library.
God.
using one
But
of these things.
the floppy disk really, it does it feels timeless in a way.
Yeah.
And so um it definitely invokes nostalgia, but it can create yeah, it's its own kind of advanced technology in the Pokemon world. So
Yeah.
I am pro floppy disks in in in
Are you pro
stories.
floppy disk or
Yeah,
anti floppy?
chat
Yeah, chat.
below.
Yeah, chat. Hit one for win. Hit one for yes.
Just write flop in the chat if you're pro floppy. So and perfect timing. Some security camera catches Green, so including Red and the rest of Team Rocket, they all kind of surround her. Now we kind of get what I think is probably the most interesting part. Machamp actually loses to Wartortle. Machamp and Hitmonlee. Um, then you get a real the next punchline. Basically, you got to be more careful before you try to outsmart a trainer with two badges. Red's seething and coping in the corner. Okay,
Ice cold.
now we get to the Tauros thing. Now, did you know about this? Because I didn't know about this. But Tauros, called the King of the Safari Zone, it's the leader of the herd and the powerful and has the power to control other Pokemon with a swish of its tail.
I did not know that. I feel like that was probably like a random Pokédex entry that we just never read.
I was gonna say, is someone just gonna like type in the comments? Well, actually, it's been around. If you checked your Pokedex back in Red and Blue, you would have known that, you posers. But I thought it was interesting. All right.
Yeah. Honestly, great inner dialogue.
That was my Reddit voice.
Yeah, that was great. That was nice.
Fucking
nerd.
So apparently he has the power to like hype up the Pokemon. So Machamp,
he fucking simps up everyone.
yeah, and they just going deep and gang up on Wartortle. Then we get
fucking Ditto.
Ditto comes out. No one knows what the heck that thing is. Now, their Tauros goes after Green. At least we think that's what happens. It's a little confusing here, because the Tauros, after defeating the Wartortle, goes after Green, and then everyone falls. Red saves her from being kind of mauled by the Tauros. But I think what then happens is the Ditto turns into Tauros, another Tauros, and then does his little tail flap. He looks back at it and
shakes that ass.
And the other Pokemon come in and basically attack Team Rocket because they're now hypnotized in a sense. So that kind of perpetually makes them accomplices now, Green and Red, having defeated Team Rocket.
So cute.
So now we kind of get the two lovebirds kind of... Okay. So as they're exiting stage left, I think for the first time, we get Jigglypuff doing Smash Bros. Jigglypuff and floating away.
What do you mean?
Because I don't think we get that in the show. Jiggly is just...
Is this where Smash Bros. Got it from then? Where she just
maybe
inflates and just like flies places? Because they did this again later where I was like, what the hell is Jigglypuff? How is Jigglypuff doing this?
Well, if you played Smash, uh, yeah, I guess she just inflates herself, kind of like Kirby.
It's
But
amazing.
it was nice to see.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, I
it fits her
forgot.
character and like the nonsense that she does. Like
Well,
to have a Ditto and a Jigglypuff on the same team, she's literally a troll.
oh, 100%. She's the cutesy
Yeah,
trainer.
yeah,
But yeah, it's nice to again the characterization of these Pokemon are subdued a little more or changed. And in here, it's like Jigglypuff isn't just like the gag character that sings. She's actually like has like utility and is doing stuff and is
yeah.
helping her squad run away.
Squad,
Squad.
squad, squad.
All right. So
That's it.
that's actually a very nice
Team
panel.
Team Gang flying off again.
But our little cliffhanger is that Team Rocket now has a floppy disk. Oh, dun dun dun! And we
Is
move
it a
on
floppy
to
disk or is it a flop?
Well, we'll find out here. Chapter 17. Yeah, again, we start off with another revelation. Yeah, she had the real one the whole time. Dun, dun, dun.
Got him. Green's such a troublemaker.
Green.
I wish we got a character like her in the games.
That would actually, yeah, I know. I'm calling her a thought, but she actually does provide a lot of fun, personality to bounce off of the main character.
Yeah, because like you and the rival, like you and Gary or whatever, Blue, it gets a little. It's just a little too serious. You know, you're always just. He's always popping up at the worst times, and he's always trying to fight and prove something. She's like the opposite vibe. Like she doesn't care about battling.
She's a bit of a rogue.
Yeah,
Doing her own thing. A little bit of a wild card. You don't know what side she's going to be on.
exactly.
But
I
yeah,
like her.
she's because she's the cutesy Pokemon trainer. That is why she wants the Mew data because she wants to find it.
You kind of thick.
Mew.
I can see where Mewtwo got it
what
from.
that Mew do?
I can see where Mewtwo got it from.
Dummy thick.
Got it from a mama.
It was Mew always supposed to be shiny.
No. Why did they make it shiny?
It's glistening a little bit. Got a little bit of a glare going
Like
on.
gloss.
Glossy. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to point out. Ditto. When Ditto transforms, you don't see Ditto face. It just turns into a regular total copy.
That seems a little unfair. A little deceptive.
Yeah.
Like to turn into like full blown Mew, like that's a lie.
I do now want to see Mew with Ditto face though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, can you get those eyes on there?
Yeah, maybe I'll Photoshop this.
Yeah, Photoshop that main photo because that Ditto is too accurately looking like Mew, and we need a little more derp in this.
Yeah, more derp. I'm pro derp. Pro derp, pro flop. Okay. So we have Ditto now transforming into Mew. What was the reasoning for that?
Just to go fuck with him.
No, it's not how Ditto's just doing a Mew impression.
No. It says while I track down the real Mew, Ditto will keep that silly Team Rocket company.
Right, but Ditto like hasn't because he can't do any of Mew's moves. So I think it's just like doing like a semi transformation. Like it could transform into the appearance, but it won't know the moves.
Mm.
So okay, so yeah, Ditto's turning into Mew to
I'm
kind of
interested.
yeah.
I'm interested to see where it all goes wrong with Blaine. And now that we're like rereading it, and I got to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is Blaine all up in Team Rocket? And
Oh
he,
yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get that revelation hopefully in volume 3, but we don't get it here. But yeah, so in order to kind of put Team Rocket on a wild goose chase, uh, Green sends her Ditto out as Mew. Um, so that kind of really gives them the green light to kind of go on their own way to find the real Mew. Now this was kind of interesting. I don't know if this is anywhere in any other type of Pokemon lore, but I thought this was kind of fun. This Pokemon emitting special brainwave thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just thought it was a unique way to make an item. It's like
Yeah,
the
to like track the
each
Pokemon down.
right. So each Pokemon's pattern is the key. Or let me backtrack. Mew's a psychic Pokemon, and each Pokemon's pattern is unique. So the psychic Pokemon emits special brainwave patterns when they use the psychokinesis, and therefore will be there before Team Rocket finishes playing catch the bouncing Ditto. So the 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 interesting thing with the DNA thing is that I think this is also helping her increase the accuracy of this psychokinesis thing. That's why she needed the floppy disk, because I think that's what she's doing. She's putting it in to basically the goggles, I think, right
Yeah.
here in this panel. so yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So she starts going off. We find out that she really actually just wants to be super rich, and that's the only reason why she's really finding Mew. Which I mean, yeah, girls got to eat, right?
She wants to stop selling her fucking sex toys or what the fuck she's doing.
Just imagine how much they'd be willing to pay for it. Tee hee. All the Pokemon breeders in the world are dying to get their hands on it. Mew is the Phantom. Is the Phantom. What does that say?
Phantom.
Oh, 151st. Yes, right. The 151st Pokemon.
Oh,
That's it. That's all there is.
Mew is the Phantom Assist.
Yeah. It's like, is that a typo? Yeah, the 151st Pokemon. That's all there ever will be, right? So yeah,
decades later.
They do find the Mew though. Again, pacing full speed ahead. We get a bit of a fight. Nothing really happens. Mew's just dodging. It's too strong. And then Team Rocket shows up. So I guess this is all kind of happening
with Nicki Minaj too, by the way. She's part of Team Rocket.
I will say though, Nicki Minaj was kind of intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is that?
Like, look at that panel.
Like, she has no pupils in her eyes? What is that? Is her eyes closed, or is she just
like a witch?
Dude, this is terrifying. This is how Nicki Minaj got her record deal.
I'm trying to think. We need to do like a Pokemon intimidation tier list at the end of this, whenever this whole arc is done, or like some of our favorite panels, because like
yeah, favorite panels for sure.
There's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we should like screenshot them. We should like cut them out or whatever, and then just make like a tier list out of like whatever.
For sure, 100%. I think that's a thing we should do at the end of this.
I like it.
So okay, so now we have like kind of a fatal 4-way, no, 3-way battle, kind of with Red and Green, Mew, and Team Rocket. Yeah, dude, look at that! Like, look at
Dude, that's
That's a
nuts.
crazy panel. Jinx just like she looks really scary. Um, yeah, I mean the Psy Wave is doing a lot of damage. It's causing a lot of mayhem. Mew is able to literally break Ivysaur's vine. I don't know what that does to Ivysaur, but more limbs falling off.
Yeah.
Uh, Poliwrath comes in and gets
Oh,
frozen solid. Mew, we
that
got a
was a
little
cool. That was
bit
a cool scene. A little punch scene there. That was pretty sick.
right. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, totally, 100%.
Yeah.
um, I'm not sure. I guess Mew's the one turning Poliwrath to ice. Sorry, I said Poliwrath before. Poliwrath to ice. I'm guessing.
Probably not just being
Um,
bodied.
and yeah, Poliwrath again continuing to take L's from just like last
From everyone.
volume.
It doesn't even matter who it is.
Mew now looking a bit angry. We get some emotion other than his his calm demeanor we've usually seen throughout the rest of this. And then we get some move. I'm not sure. I guess is it teleport. I'm guessing. Is he
Let's see.
teleporting everyone randomly?
No, let's see.
Yeah, we got a lot of action shots.
Mm.
It's it is what it is.
A little psychic tornado move and
Yeah,
leaves.
something's going on, but they end up in I think a separate spot than Team Rocket, so it could be teleport, but it could be something else. It's gone. Hey, look on the bright side. At least Team Rocket didn't get it right, but she's all happy because at least she'll get a few bucks from taking photos of Mew. And then she
Goodbye.
I also like how
Later,
derpy
Misty.
Jigglypuff is
Yeah.
like drawn.
I love how giant the eyes are.
I know. It's like everything else kind of has like a nice or a certain like cleanliness to the line work, and then he's just Jigglypuff's just like scribble in the eyeballs. It's like whatever.
I like it. Thanks for
But she
everything,
did do the
sweetie
right
pie.
thing. Gave him back his badges. So all's well that ends well.
Well,
That's
what
our
do
little.
you know?
That's a little mini arc.
Don't tell Misty.
Well, we'll find out where Misty is a little later, I think. Chapter 18. This one is right. Okay, this is this is a bit of a one-off. It's like a Freaky Friday type of a deal. We can kind of move a little quickly through this because I
Yeah.
don't think there's too much to kind of go over in terms of the overall story.
So we're at 40.
Yeah, so we'll this one it's really just Red gets his Pokemon switched with Blue's, and they kind of basically just have a teaching moment, I would say.
They just like train them differently, so you can just tell. This was actually parallel to the show where Blue or Gary gets like all the bitches. So they just saw his Pokemon and they were excited. It's him.
Yeah. It's him, but you're not as
And then
cool
indeed
as
was
Gary.
not him. Yeah, yeah. Sigh. You're a fake. Love it.
So I everything kind of ends up kind of the way you'd think it would end up. Red kind of is a little more compassionate with his Pokemon. Blue's a little more militaristic with his. So by the end, Blue gets his Pokemon back. They're a little nicer. Red gets his Pokemon back, and they want to kick his ass.
Yeah.
So,
which is probably good for both of them. Nice little like
right.
this is like a nice little like sub series, almost like a little subplot.
Right, but I will say, who are we siding with? Who deserved the Ninetales?
Oh,
because I think Blue gets it.
Yeah, Blue. I think Blue. It's like whoever's wielding, it's almost like a weapon, right? It's like whoever's wielding the weapon. You
Okay.
can't say, "Oh, it was my sword." Like that Pikachu is ashes or reds or whatever. Technically, blue is using that Pikachu.
Fair enough. I think I agree, but
You agree? You definitely agree.
you know what? You know who'll make the final decision? Duncan. We'll ask him next time.
Duncan
I'll
on
make a
these.
note of that.
Okay.
Okay, now we're at the Erica arc. Um, so Erica, he ends up in where does he end up specifically?
Celadon?
Cycling down what? Oh, the cycling road. Okay. Uh, yeah, Erica's Tangela kind of trips him up on the road. That's kind of how we get to Erica and Red, um, kind of confronting each other. Now, she talks about. She mentions that she's the gym leader. So if you're a gym leader, then I could fight you for a badge too. To Pokemon battle, I earned these 2 badges by fighting gym. Okay, that's Cap. You didn't fight Misty. No one
Yeah,
saw it.
dude. Dude, literally. And honestly, I don't even like the way he got the one with her. It's like, let
Yeah, oh
me,
well,
yeah,
yeah,
let's continue. Keep going.
yeah.
Keep going. This man's
There's
getting
stuff I like about it
handouts.
though.
He's
There's
getting
stuff I like about it
handouts.
though.
What?
You challenge me. Stop. I accept this challenge. Stop. I accept this challenge. Okay. Uh, so the challenge is to find this Eevee. Um, that's what the gym battle is supposed to be via Erica's rules. Um, so finding the Eevee is gonna be hard to do. So I think he calls Bill for help.
Which is a nice way to find it. 'Cause
Um,
Bill does give you an Eevee in the game.
the I will say, how do we feel about Bill's accent?
He
Do
has
we
an
like it?
accent. Which accent? What are you talking about?
Ain't seen you in a growlous age, neighbor. What's going on?
What's doing? No, what's doing?
There's the little thing.
Uh, yeah, I
And
guess I.
there's bound to be one who'll say, "Why, I just seen that little feller at such and such place."
Okay. Now that you bring it up, for being such a like techie, like computer genius guy, being this like hillbilly, it definitely does not fit.
So the only way I could see a reasoning behind it, because yeah, I don't agree either, is because I remember watching back in the day Rurouni Kenshin. It's a samurai show, and I vaguely remember that there was a guy with a southern accent as well. And I think the reasoning behind why they did it is because actually in the Japanese, the guy had some type of specific accent in Japanese. So they're like, well, how are we going to translate this? And so they figured, well, let's just give him a southern accent. And so that was the thought behind that. I'm not sure it's that robust of a reasoning here. But
You think they were trying to
they
make
gave
him
him
like American?
it just more of a dialect thing. Because the Japanese had a dialect. Or you're talking about for red?
No,
Sorry.
for
You're
Bill.
talking for Bill or
Yeah.
you're talking about the
For Bill.
samurai show? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. It was definitely a choice. It threw me off. I'll say that. Definitely threw me off.
Yeah, now that you bring it up, it definitely was weird.
So Bill and Red start kind of searching for the Eevee.
Erica's
Now
a freaking Erica's a freaking Amazon woman.
she's doing her classic Japanese princess thing and just shooting arrows and doing stuff. But we get a really cool moment because she's apparently in her castle or something or doing whatever, and they're kind of just talking. If the planet is exposed to that child, the Eevee is one of our project's primary objectives. She just randomly attacks, and then the Wanderer himself appears. It was our Team Rocket Hypno, or sorry, Drowsy. Uh, that I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, that's what that was. I actually think my
Yeah,
my thing didn't render, so I didn't see this image.
yeah. So, like, okay, one, like, very cool. Like, she was able to like sense that there was like a bad guy nearby. Two, she acts quickly, takes out the threat. Three, the threat is like another Pokemon, which is cool. Like, it's like,
Mm,
okay, you could do like espionage or reconnaissance with the Pokemon like that, and then they can report back, which is sick.
mm.
And then four, another pretty violent moment. like like he got those leaves. Those are razor leaves. Like, I'm surprised we're not showing some blood, because like that he got bodied. Like,
Fuck
dome
Drowsy.
almost popped.
Headshot.
Um Now we kind of get to the meat of this chapter, where they finally find the Eevee, and I thought this was so cool. Like, just the way the experiments would like be like Pokemon specific and stuff, and it's not just like, really stereotypical, like, Gyarados, he's just like angry and they evolved. No, like with this, like this is like kind of almost like horrifying in a way. It's like like the Eevee's like constantly transforming and deforming, and it's
Which is kind of fucking insane when you think about it.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, if that was like a true if it was in its abilities, like that
Hmm.
would be sick. Be like an unstoppable Pokemon.
Hmm.
But so yeah, like it's able to transform into any version of Eevee it wants. Um and yeah, I just thought all that stuff was really cool, and like the implications of like the Team Rocket research and stuff. I just really thought that was really well done.
Yeah, because they always
And
made it seem like Team Rocket was like labbing on Pokemon, but they never. I just got like an impression that they were just like, like electrocuting freaking, Cubone or some shit like in a lab tube. But like this
mhm,
felt like a real like use for experiments, um,
right.
and I would have never even thought of this. It was pretty cool.
So the way they kind of our heroes kind of figure out how to stop the EV is it's able to sense typing through its ears. And so when Red was able to cover the Eevee's
Crap.
ears, what?
This shot, crap,
Oh, right. Again, they
destroyed
love solar beaming, like to
everything,
make it looks like the most deadly attack every time it's used.
and it just always knows it like from level 5.
Yeah. And now it's an Ivysaur solar beam, so it's even stronger. So I can only imagine when that thing turns into a Venusaur.
Oh, Duncan will
Um,
Duncan will nut.
a whole solar beam. Just,
Touche.
uh, the funny enough though, the Eevee somehow survived, didn't just get obliterated. And yeah, it kind of wraps up with us taking the Eevee to the we didn't take it to the Pokemon Center. We took it to the gym. For because now, at least in Red's head, he's like, oh, this bitch. She was the one she's part of Team Rocket. Like, I think that's what he's thinking in his head or something.
Yeah, which is
Um
fair to think.
all right, on to chapter 20.
Making
Um
moves.
yeah, again, really yeah, so we get the confrontation with him and Erica. Erica is now coming off very cruel looking because she looks all happy, but he's like, what
What was all
you
this
you
about?
reconstructed
And
Evie,
I
blah
love
blah
this.
blah.
I love this side by side. If you want to go up, like I love that back to back panel of her being like,
Right.
She will
That
serve as a very powerful weapon. And then immediately after, clap, 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 clap. Like,
right.
love that they
Yeah.
showed so many different sides of Erica. Um,
I think she's my favorite character of the volume.
it's really cool. Like, she's a really cool character. I like how like surprisingly dark they make her
She's
for her.
calculating.
Yeah, and she's
She's still, I think,
intelligent.
fighting on the side of good,
Right. But she
but
has
she's
like, but you could think she was, if they didn't put it all together for you, you would think she could be a villain because she's
right.
so calculated. Um, it was really cool. I loved how deep they went in with Erica specifically too.
Yeah, this is a big reason why I like um, this little story so much because yeah, but besides all the interesting things you get with the Eevee, I think just yeah, Erica's characterization here is really well done. Um, so after the miscommunication, we get our little our battle here, um, and it kind of goes as you'd expect. It's close, you know, but really the most important part is after Pikachu kind of basically loses, um, Erica wants to take the Eevee out of the Pokeball, I believe, and um, hold on, let me just make sure this is right. You fought courageously, young man. You have the potential to invite you to battle me again when you have attained more skill. And since you prove yourself by capturing an Eevee, next time I will attach no conditions. The Eevee. I see that the little one is near its end. An experimental creature's fate is indeed a sad one. The least I could do is put it out of its misery. And so that kind of sends Red off the deep end. He gets all it gets very sad. If the Pokeball is open now, it will surely take its last breath. So, okay, maybe we're forcing a little bit of the what do you it's the drama. She's forcing it a little bit. You know, she doesn't have to be as cruel, tricking him like that.
Yeah.
But
I feel like there was a lesson that she wanted to teach him of some sort.
right. I think that's kind of where it's all going.
Yeah.
So we get Pikachu kind of going Super Saiyan in a way, or at least doing its own little substitute. I'm not exactly sure what's happening here.
This scene confused me. I was like, did Pikachu die?
Yeah, so
You know, that's what that looked like.
Pikachu's doing some special like main character stuff.
Yeah.
And this is really I think the peak is we get Pikachu and Red, and they don't attack the Vileplume. They actually go to protect the Eevee, which I thought was a really nice moment. And then all the building blocks kind of fall into place. And Erica basically acknowledges Red and blah blah blah. He's got a good heart and all that stuff, and so does she.
She's kind of holding Pikachu like I'm holding Matcha right now.
Yo, he's not happy though. He looks very. He's shooting daggers.
He's purring. He's here for the ride. So what? They just like earned her love and they got the badge.
I thought it was nice.
I call bullshit.
I like it.
I call bullshit.
Rather than I think though teaching, like her doing a true teaching moment, I think it was more as this whole thing was a vessel for the audience to be like, oh, Red's a real good guy, you know? And I mean,
he would have been a much greater guy if he did all this and then came back and beat her. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
You know, earned it.
Yeah.
So far, out of his 3 badges, he's gotten 2 handouts.
Yeah, he's won 1 actually, legit.
And with that one, he freaking like murdered Onyx.
Yeah, I mean, Pikachu had no right winning that either.
Literally, the whole thing.
So
All right, off we go.
I I will say I thought it was good though.
It
I
was
think
good.
we get a real nice kind of callback now to Team Rocket. Everyone kind of knows their place now.
Yeah, everyone knows like
Um,
how the characters are, so like
right.
they can trust each other.
Uh, and again, the Pikachu kind of going to save the Eevee. I thought it was a nice moment. However, it got there and whatever it meant after that, I think it was trying to say a it had a good message. And I think that's we don't get that all that often in some modern stuff,
That's
modern
true.
entertainment. So it was nice to see.
Valid, valid. This is where Erica. Wait, what's going on in that scene? Whoa,
Okay,
whoa, whoa.
yeah. It's like get a little blushing going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whoa.
she's definitely like that.
We need to find the strength.
She's definitely got that older sister energy, or not older sister, older girl next door energy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
You want to show
Ash
me your
or Red is
badges?
feeling it.
He's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm hell yeah, I'm in. All right, you
uh,
gotta. We have to do it in front of all these people.
Now I wonder though, what if we're gonna get Eevee fully evolved by the end of this? If we're gonna get like Flareon, Vaporeon, or Jolteon by the end of this, that'll be
Hmm.
interesting. Or if Eevee's just gonna be like Pikachu and just be goaded in its base form.
They're probably gonna keep them the same.
And
Oh,
what who could be my favorite character maybe
like
eventually
period, like in this in the manga, or are you talking about period?
in the manga.
Okay,
I think it could be her.
I
I
don't think
think
I.
she's
I don't know if I got far enough into the thing to.
no, no. She doesn't make an appearance in Volume 2. I'm just saying I think she's interesting enough. I think Sabrina will be interesting enough where we could get um some cool moments with her.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot setting up there. I mean, well, we'll get to it in a little bit.
In the next chapter,
Chapter
what
21.
what is this called? What is this one called? Did they name it for you?
Yeah.
In the one that you're looking at?
Yeah.
This is Nidoking.
Yeah, this is the Nidoking one. I forget exactly
Oh,
what it's
interesting.
called.
When I was
But
reading
we're
it,
in
I
the
guess
Safari Zone.
they were naming it by the Pokemon.
Yeah, the chapter titles are definitely there somewhere. They're just
Okay.
not on this site. So yeah, we get the Safari Zone one. We can kind of skim through this because it is another one of those side stories, but
Yeah.
there are a couple moments where I wanted to touch upon. We have Red at the Safari Zone. He brings his Pokeball because he's a piece of garbage, and he's not using Safari balls.
Yeah. What a
And
troll.
he catches the Nidoqueen, who the two Nidoking are fighting over, and that causes basically a whole uproar, which
Which
leads us into
which you gotta appreciate the kind of like the animalistic, almost like behavior that they're like shouting out there. Where it's like, look at these two men fighting over this woman.
I mean,
Love it.
again, they treat them more like animals in a way, and I do appreciate it because
Yeah.
they are kind of wild animals.
Just as we are.
And again, they make these Pokemon giant when they want to make them giant, and these two Nidoking are gigantic.
It was fit.
Nidoqueen,
Nidoking felt right for this.
yeah, I agree.
Like I think like actual Nidoking is supposed to be like a little bigger than a person, but I
Right.
much more like this.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I've been a fan of the the changes in size for sure with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the Nidoking kind of chase Red off of track. Red gets off the Safari Zone ride basically because of he's an idiot, and hijinks ensues. So Red basically runs around trying to find a solution how to get out of here. Does all the standard Safari Zone stuff.
Throw the rock.
throws rocks. The rocks are exactly what you think happens.
Pisses
It
them off.
makes yeah, it makes them all bloody and stuff. It's you're literally throwing rocks at a sentient being, so
It was
they're gonna
actually,
bleed.
looking back, like this is exactly what it felt like trying to catch a Pokemon
A
in
little
the
bit, yeah,
actual Safari Zone. Like it felt like
yeah.
no matter what you did, it just
It would just run
you were just
away or
pissing
run
them
at you.
off.
Yeah,
It just felt like
yeah,
yeah.
right. Yep.
I don't think I ever caught anything cool at the Safari Zone. Now that I think about it.
I
Like, did you
did I
ever
catch a
catch a
Nidoking?
Taurus or like a Kangaskhan? You know, like those are
I
like
think I
so
caught a
rare.
Nidoking.
No
I
way.
think I or
There's
I
no way
thought
they
I
gave
think
you
I
Nidoking.
maybe in Fire Red I did.
Maybe like a Tauros.
No, I think I did. I'll have to
So,
check. I think I still have that cartridge. I think I got it from Safari Zone.
get your floppy disk.
Yeah. Moving on.
Everyone's
The
afraid. He's balls deep in shit.
Yeah, a lot of actions happening. Bing, bow, zoom, zam, running, 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 running. And I ran so far away. Okay, I thought this was kind of dumb. uh, after all that, the Pidgey robot is hurt, and we get like a touching moment where Red's like, "Are you okay? Thanks for bailing me out." Like, it's not a real Pidgey. It's not a
Yeah,
real thing.
it's
It's a
literally a
robot.
robot.
And then the robot's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm a robot."
He's
Now,
like, he's
okay,
like, sorry, I haven't seen anyone in years. Like, all right,
the
Red, you need to get out of here.
okay, now we're getting to like the meat of it though, and then I think the interesting part is Red gets captured by a Victory Bell, and basically leads us into he looks like he's screwed. That leads us into chapter 22. Now with chapter 22, it was really one thing that kind of stood out to me, and so Red
The fact that they're trying
is
to freaking like do a tribal dance to eat him.
yes,
That was trippy,
it's
and
the
Victory Bell felt like the
Illuminati.
perfect. That too. It felt like some. This felt like how Nicki Minaj
Moloch.
got indicted, and
It,
it's the weird shit they be doing. But like, yeah, this whole scene, like having a bunch of weeping bells even surrounding you,
dude,
is
look at the
terrifying.
Pokemon, man. Like, look at that. Are those even Pokemon? Okay, that's what I wanted to actually talk about.
What?
Okay, so we get these creatures here in Red, and they're all like, the any of the Pokemon in the Victory Bell line, when they want to evolve, they're put to sleep, and the Victory Bells do a dance, and then they feed them after they evolve. I believe that's what happens.
I think they feed them to evolve.
To evolve? Or okay. I thought it was after, but regardless. we get the Victory Bell sacrificial thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is this? What is this? What is this creature? It's not a Rattata. What is it? Do we have confirmed non-Pokemon?
evolve in their sleep while the elders feed them fertilizer.
Yeah, so that's another thing that they're feeding. What is that? This is the thing I wanted to talk about for this chapter. Like, this is the thing.
Jab. I mean, it
Yeah, but what
definitely
is
has
that thing?
whiskers. Definitely has
It's
an
not a Rattata.
eye.
I don't think it's a Rattata.
You think they like had maybe an animal that was not a Pokemon, which would be like kind of
So
hard
are we confirming non-Pokemon or animals or non-Pokemon
Pokemon
are in
world.
Pokemon? Yeah.
I mean, that's a bold statement, but like, what else could that be? Doesn't look like.
Looks like a basic mouse, man. Isn't that
That is pretty
crazy?
wild. I didn't notice that.
It's like what? What are we hard confirming? There's like regular animals in the Pokemon world. I think the manga might be trying to imply that,
Can't tell what it
and
is.
and then that then begs the question. I don't even know if I'm using that right,
Oh,
because
look, there's
that
more
looks like
over
the same
there
thing.
on the
What
far
is
top
that
left.
thing?
On the top
What
left.
is? Yeah, this.
Mm-hmm.
All these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are all these guys? Are they non-Pokemon? What is going on? So I'll let the cats at home think on that
Yeah,
one.
that's trippy. I didn't really notice that. Also,
And then
whatever version of this you're reading, definitely send me because I keep getting like
okay,
I'm missing images. So like some of
okay,
these I'm
okay.
like reading with you. I'm like, no way.
Yeah, the one Johnny has is pretty terrible. The site he gave us. So
Yeah,
this is a separate site.
yeah.
Um,
Send me this.
okay, so we kind of get the resolution after this.
So they throw a bunch of items.
Right, Red just pulls everything out of his hat, basically. And yeah, he the way the see another fucking what is going on?
Oh my god,
Uh,
slurp. Yo, this is
so
fucking weird.
that's what I'm saying. But um resolution. So he takes the Poke Flute, wakes all the Pokemon up. I think that stops the
Ceremony.
ceremony, yeah. And then he
Pokédoll does
throws the
what it
Pokedoll.
does, which is
Yep. Just distract.
shout out to Call of Duty Monkey Bomb.
Then yeah, I think that's basically it. Red basically runs away, but then that, obviously, okay, this wakes up the Nidoking as well. It wakes up the flute woke up everyone in the vicinity. So more chasing, more Tom and Jerry stuff happening, and the final resolution is Red
Nido
throws his Safari Ball,
at
gets
Victory
the
Bell
Victory Bell,
after Nidoking hits it
right,
and
and
then uses
then
it back.
then it's fight fire with fire, and that basically seals the deal for this chapter. I think. By the end of it, we get Red catching untold amounts of Pokemon. Apparently, he's just riding in with Squad.
I wish he had
He might have
Nidoking.
caught
I wish he
right.
added it. He should have
Apparently, he
added
caught
Nidoking.
three of them.
He should have added one.
So maybe we'll get it in the in volume 3. But yeah, he caught all. Apparently, he caught all these. At least it's not implied otherwise.
No, it literally says caught all these.
So
moving on.
okay, now we kind of get back to the main plot line.
Ooh.
It's ya boy, make way.
Giovanni.
So this starts out again where every chapter starts out just out of nowhere something happens, and he's just chilling in the cave. We don't get any context to how they ended up there. He just met him, and just going through the
Just
cave.
went through a cave together.
So the the researcher, quote unquote, is with Red to just kind of see what's going on. The ulterior motive, though, is that wants to check on Red to see how strong he is, because he is actually the leader of Team Rocket.
Keep going, keep scrolling, keep scrolling.
Um,
Yeah, that's where at first I said he is caused by no, actually not there. Where does he show his alternative motive? The whole time he's all
Um,
like jolly, jolly. He doesn't even show it.
right,
Oh, oh, right, oh,
we
right
get a
there.
hint here.
Yeah, yeah,
Even gym leaders tremble in fear of me. Who? And that's when we kind of get the serious face first.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
our
yeah.
first inkling.
First sign.
Um, I can't tell how many gym leaders you clobbered, not to mention Team Rocket's finest or worstest. Haha, no doubt, no doubt. Doesn't sound like you meant it.
No doubt, no doubt. It's
Yeah,
actually a
this
funny
is
line. Love
this
this
is
translation. If this is a
this is
direct,
2000s or late
yeah,
90s
no doubt, no doubt.
kid. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Even walking like he's in the 90s. Look at that
Yeah,
hand in the
100%.
pants. No doubt, no doubt.
Pikachu wants none of this though. Pikachu is heavily doubting. Uh,
Yeah, all doubt, all doubt.
yeah. This heat is caused by flames. A wild magmar. No, two. So yeah, it's building. We're getting the reveal.
What? And then hit him with the whoosha.
Yeah.
Whoosh.
Started by a Pokemon Magmar. So the Magmar are they're not even Team Rocket Magmar. They're just menaces to society.
Which, like, good to know.
Yeah, Red is still totally unaware of Mr. Giovanni's motivations. But we kind of start seeing again more of the layers of the onion kind of unfolding, and we see more menacing. At least I could see for myself now how good he is. And he judges him, and he's like, "Oh, he's still a kid," but he basically comes to the conclusion that he's not knowledgeable, but he can think on his feet, basically, because he initially can't solve the fire problem with Polyrath because Polyrath has low HP. So he goes, okay, sand will do the trick. So he takes out a sand shrew, and
He basically
that
does what a
kind
kid
of
would do if they like lit their house on fire.
throw sand on it, throw dirt on it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, though, that sand shrew just clapped 2 Magmars. So, just saying.
Is the power of a kid how we stop fires? Question mark.
Like really, really like this Giovanni. Just really, just goofy drawing.
So this whole thing, like I like kind of a summary. Like I like that they introduced those two characters without it being like the typical like, oh my god, here's the evil villain, and like, well, I'll see you again when you're stronger. Like you didn't get that. It was
wasn't
very
a standard
much
Team Rocket. Jesse
no,
James
which was so cool. Like it felt like
We
little
were, in fact, not preparing for trouble.
at all. It's almost like they were just like kind of friends in a way. But and we knew the whole time because we have obviously played the games. But like, if you read this the first time ever, you probably were shocked when you're like, "Why is this guy being so weird? Why is this guy being so weird?" And then all of a sudden he pulls off the thing and you see the Team Rocket emblem and you're like, "Oh my god, it's the same Team Rocket that fucking did all these other things."
When Johnny's kid is old enough, we should probably have her read it and be like, and see if she's surprised.
Yeah, for science.
Yeah, for science.
So it was cool. I liked how they did this. I liked how they introduced Giovanni.
Agreed.
Giovanni. All right, moving on.
Yeah, Sandshrew just bodied him.
Does its thing.
The full evaluation basically is that, Giovanni's kind of impressed, but what is his final words here? Take care. Magmars are okay. You know what? It was he's too soft, right?
Yeah.
That's his ultimate conclusion. He's too soft.
Yeah.
And then we see the viciousness of Giovanni.
I mean, he's 14.
Right. Yeah, this is a like 30-plus-year-old man, probably in his 40s. So
literally, he's probably in his 40s. He's like, this kid's too soft.
So another death. The cloister just shattered,
Death
Sub-Zero
by
style.
clitoris.
If we could all be so lucky.
What chapter are we on? 24.
24. 24. Now, this was a little confusing. I didn't realize he was underwater at first. I thought he was like on land and like doing this, but he's got like the dowsing rod thing. He's trying to find an HM.
Yeah. Which is cool that they brought up HMs this way.
Yeah. Of course, Blue already has his. He's again styling.
Like they just avoided that whole like Safari Zone gold teeth thing with that one guy. You remember that? They just like didn't do any of that.
Yeah, I mean, again, we are plowing through this. I think this is going to be done in the next volume. So
yeah,
we are mainlining this.
At this point, they're trying to show as many cool Pokemon that they can.
I mean, we still get some cool moments with these last few chapters. I mean, heck, we get Dragonite, but it's covered by just a word balloon, a big sound effect. So there's that.
Yeah, I guess they could have timed that one better.
They could have put it anywhere else. Yeah. They could have made it smaller. Could have done anything. Glub. Yeah, so Dragonite is basically hogging the area and won't let Red get his HM. So Red tries again with his Pikachu. Pikachu doesn't do anything.
So crazy.
It's a stupid Dragonite. Dragonite, that's a really nice paneling here. Yeah, I mean this could have been a really cool like drawn out fight if we got it more fleshed out. But yeah, like actually seeing what's his face?
Snorlax?
Snorlax. Jesus Christ. It's getting late.
I know. Let's
yeah,
power through it like Snorlax.
Seriously,
let's power through it like Snorlax is.
Okay. We get a really cool shot here, and it looks like it's leading into this big fight, and then it's like, meh, playing slap fight in the background here. It's like, okay.
yeah, they're like slap boxing on the top right.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
no.
Epic panel. Nah. Just like
more noises. Sloop. Gloobish. Glub.
Red's still trying to get that HM.
Boom.
Dragonite is just not letting it happen. And then we got kind of a serious moment. I mean, he looks like he's about to drown. It looks like his leg's crushed after trying and failing. And then what? Out of nowhere, a Gyarados appeared? What? And then what? What is going on here? Actually, this was confusing. I was like,
yo, Mermaid Misty?
We don't get clarification on this at all. It's like,
what? I don't know why she's a mermaid.
Yeah. Is it like a mirage or what's going on here?
Yeah, like is it more efficient? Is it
I don't know.
Is this where wait a minute. Is this where Misty's Tears, that card, the Japanese one, came from?
Maybe. It's a maybe.
A little nude.
Because she doesn't cry here. She's not really crying. But she is.
She is of the nudes, and we never see her like this.
Maybe something will happen in Volume 3 that we're unaware of. But this could be one of the closest times. But it's so weird. It's all very weird.
It's so trippy that she was a mermaid.
Yeah.
Like why did they even add that detail?
Yeah. I mean, in a way, like if you wanted, okay, the way you make this work real quick is that you throw it into Red's perspective, and he's like, and you kind of imply that like we're looking now through Red's point of view, and he's like, oh, I'm getting I'm slowly dying. It's fading to black.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah, 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 yeah,
is
yeah.
that my guardian angel, or is that a
Right.
mermaid? Right,
Right.
like
And
he's
it's like,
seeing
and it's
things.
her and like Gyarados like swimming
Right,
into the scene.
right.
That would have made
So
more
maybe
sense.
that's what that's what they're trying to go for, but it's not coming across like that. It just looks like, oh, Misty turned into a mermaid.
Yeah. Like
So
obviously. Blub blub
uh,
blub.
again,
Oh, this is one
anyways,
of my favorite
yes,
fight moments.
yes,
Go down.
right, yeah. So
Charge
Gyarados is
in.
now on our side, 100%,
Yep.
and Misty has Gyarados go head to head with Dragonite, and
Dragonite
boom,
booms. Gyarados
we get it,
booms.
two Kamehameha waves. It's a sick
Scroll down
panel.
a little bit. I can't see it. Yeah, that there it is.
Yeah,
Oof. Oof. That is mwah. That's why we read the manga for stuff like this.
it's again, it's like I talked about last time. Very cool lighting. You don't get this in the anime. You get the harsh blacks and whites. It's really good stuff.
Hmm.
Super dynamic, circular composition. uh, you can't go wrong though. It's like it's a fantastic shot. And again, when you have panels that are very simplified, it's almost like what I said when they like try to match the violence when the story calls for it. When the story calls for it and it needs the hyper detailed action shots. And I'm not saying it's the most hyper detailed thing. It's not Berserk, if you know, you know. Um, Still, in the context of this story,
It was perfect.
it's really well rendered.
Yeah.
Awesome shot. Gyarados looks like he wins. The HM is destroyed, I believe. Is that what happens?
You're still
This thing
scrolling.
is useless now.
Yeah, it's useless.
Okay. So, but yeah, Misty is back and she's a human again. So, on to chapter 25.
We're getting
3
there.
more to go. All right, so now we go into a semi mini arc. We get 2 out of the 3 birds. This is a okay. So Misty basically gives Red her Gyarados because she's super nice. He did not deserve that, but because he can't get Surf because it's destroyed, she gave Red the Gyarados to borrow, and yeah, he's flying around all the islands. As a trade, in a sense, a temporary trade, she takes his Krabby, I believe, is Krabby, and she yeets off with Starmie, which is kind of hilarious. Like she's just levitating. So I think
Later.
that's fantastic.
He's like, you're gonna give me this
Um,
amazing Pokemon.
yeah. So again, Gyarados is all nice again, and he's been trained. And for some reason, Misty yeeted off. She says, "I wish I could stay. I hope he wins the badges he's after." And then that's basically all we see from her for the rest of the volume. Now, I believe Red is actually trying to find the birds on these islands, so that's kind of his main motivation here. But of course, Team Rocket wants them as well. So when he kind of gets in trouble with Team Rocket, the Gyarados almost reverts back to his old ways. I guess because he's not totally out of the brainwashing. So that causes a bunch of I guess tension because now it's almost like Red is fighting 2 fronts in a sense. It's not so crazy, but he has to fight, or the Gyarados basically isn't helping, and then he's got to go against Team Rocket / Articuno. So it's not a great time right now. The One thing that is kind of in his favor though is the Articuno because it is a bit of a wild card. It's got kind of that Mew factor where it's kind of just trying to do its own thing and get away from everyone.
Yeah, I found
So
it interesting
by
that
the end of
they.
this,
I don't know
yeah,
how. It didn't really seem like they captured it, but I guess they did at the end.
yeah. So we'll
They
kind
didn't really
of
make that
talk about
clear.
that. Yeah, we'll get there at the end, but yeah. So really, Red does his. We've seen it countless times. I guess not countless, but we've seen it throughout Volume 2, especially that he is a very compassionate kid. So he goes to really. He's not trying to fight Team Rocky. He's not trying to get the Arcanine. He goes and tries to help Gyarados. So uh, in
And then
that
and then
time,
all his Pokemon listen finally,
right,
even though
and
Gyarados was a threat to them earlier.
and Articuno kind of starts really attacking Team Rocket. I don't think he attacks his Red's Pokemon,
Yeah.
but yeah. So Articuno flies off after that, and Team Rocket follows, and that kind of leaves Red to kind of recoup and kind of move on to the next island. But yeah, so the point of this story is that like Gyarados, yeah, this was like a very much a Gyarados focused story where
Yeah.
he
He's
kind
joined
of,
the
I
team
guess,
now.
rids himself. Yeah, he rids himself of the last bits of Team Rocket in him, I guess,
That
as well
darkness.
as yeah. And yeah, I think yeah, they're a fully fledged
He's
team at
got a
this
good
point.
team, but two water types.
I know.
Mm,
We'll do a
mm.
final review of the team actually at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, yeah. Keep going, keep going.
We'll see. I guess the Poliwrath will stay on the team. The Pikachu will stay on the team.
Polyrath will always be
There's
on the
probably a
team
couple. Yeah.
because the
Uh,
writer loves Polyrath.
Pokemon House. Right. So
Ooh, hitting with the
now into
blame.
chapter 26, penultimate chapter. So, Team
Holy
Rocket
Moltres.
is on all of these. Is on all of these islands. So Red probably thinks, "Oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm going to a new island, new adventure." Um,
I love how he's
turns
like
out,
in any way remotely surprised. Like
I know.
he really is going in there with like the best freaking attitude, and then he's just like, "Oh, what? And Team Rocket again? Like, yes, dude, they're trying to capture the birds,
Pure of heart, dumb of ass.
literally, literally."
So, yeesh, Team Rocket. Oh, so,
Pretty sick that they have
uh,
Gengar, I will say.
yeah, I was gonna say your boy's
My
here.
boy,
He's looking
and
good. He's looking
he's
good.
doing shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what move that
Um,
is.
but I mean, that's a pretty sick panel too. Just the way, I guess that's Rapidash. I guess it's not Ninetales, so it's probably Rapidash. Um,
It's trippy as
but yeah,
fuck.
Rapidash versus Gengar, pretty sick.
Making art like that, oh, in the TCG or
That's
even
pretty
this.
nice. Yeah.
That's sick.
Um,
I'm here for all the
so
Gengar panels.
naturally, Red got caught being a bum, just sitting there watching
He's
in
like,
awe.
yeah, he's like, how do they find me?
So we find out now that Blaine
Leave this boy alone.
is Turncoat, I guess.
So they don't explain why he left. In one panel,
Yeah.
he's working on the Mewtwo, and another one, he's defending Red.
So maybe let's kind of go through this a little slow, not too slow. We don't want to bore the audience, but well, maybe we'll catch something that we didn't see the first time around. But as Blaine is now fighting Team Rocket because he's Turncoat, Red sends Gyarados out to basically help. And Blaine kind of yeets off with Red now on the Rapidash, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a cool scene. They're
You
galloping
risked your life
away,
for me.
and he
Yeah. So now,
basically tells them, he just gives them like a secret mission to go do
yeah,
with no explanation.
yeah. Again, just like with Erica, like you're adding too much tension for the audience that doesn't make sense for like Red, because it's like he needs that information. So
Yeah. Like, you gotta be a little more specific. He's 14.
yeah.
Run away with my flaming horse
So
with this with another floppy disk.
Red and Blaine are running for their lives. Sends out Polyrath. Polyrath fights Team Rocket, and then boom, we got our second legendary bird, Moltres. Now the Moltres, though, I believe was caught.
Yeah.
So this is a captured Pokemon. So it is 100% on Team Rocket's side. This is an issue because it's basically
It's eaten.
just going 1v1ing a Rapidash, which really shouldn't happen. Luckily Gyarados does help a little bit being a water type, but the Moltres is just too fast.
As they say here.
Then
It's too fast.
right. Okay, so
It's even
finally
singing. It's even singing. Look, there's a little music note there. What a
yeah,
flex.
I it could have been. I guess if there is one thing we could have gotten that we don't get is getting more Pokemon specific sound effects.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool, but it is what it is. It's not a big deal.
It's a huge deal. You're right.
The so we get a kind of a flashback. I forget, where does he receive the fossil from? Red. It was this volume. I forget where
You
he
got it from Giovanni, I think. Or did Blaine just give it to him? Blaine might have just give it to him now.
No, did he? No, I don't think so. I think he got it before.
So it had to have been Giovanni, I guess, when they were in the tunnels.
Could be.
Keep going. Refresh my
but
memory.
he got it. I mean, he has one. And Blaine recognizes it, so he tells Red to go basically without any context. He goes, "Go this way," and they basically sends him to his lab.
And give me your Gyarados.
Trust me. Yeah, give me your Gyarados.
Trust.
Go this way.
Thumbs up. Just trust. Trust.
So
he's like,
Rapidash.
what am I doing? He's like, Misty's gonna be so pissed at me.
100%.
Does this mean I can't fuck the mermaid?
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, this was like only like 30 minutes ago that happened.
I know.
I saw a mermaid.
Literally, he's like already disappointing the mermaid that saved him.
So the Rapidash yeets off, opens his special lab, his secret lab. And yeah, things go about as you would expect. Red is kind of muttering to himself, I don't know what's going on. Rapidash is kind of giving him some tood. And then, yeah, bada bing, bada boom.
Making it a little more obvious. And then what do you get?
We get an Aerodactyl.
The bird. Scroll downward.
So that's a pretty nice shot.
I can only see.
Very Mewtwo.
Oh, that is sick.
Yeah.
It's fire.
Although then we get this shot. It's like, all right. You look a little derpy, but it's fine. I think every recording we've had a Yoast reference. Whether it's Johnny going his hands,
push up, pushies,
or Yoast felt hat.
Wow, it really isn't every single one,
dude. It's in every single episode.
That's like the East. That's like our Easter egg.
Well, we have Yoast here. Yoast is definitely this Yost is definitely not Yost here though. He is he's built different. He's got his own workout regimen and everything. uh and
Aerodactyl built.
yeah. And so we finally get Red to the rescue with his new Aerodactyl. I guess he's part of the team now.
Cool pickup, by the way. Did not expect that.
Yes. I was wondering which fossil he was actually going to get. Hey, I don't think it happens this chapter. It happened a little while back because I remember being like, oh yeah, I wonder what that fossil is going to
I
end
think it
up
was
being.
Giovanni. I'm telling you, when they went through the tunnel.
Yeah, it might have been. We were going a little fast over there, but nice to meet you. So yeah, he ends up
Hitting with that supersonic.
hurting Moltres pretty bad. Team Rocket has the Moltres return, and yeah, that kind of basically okay. So that kind of ends the conflict there, and then we get Blaine going.
Yeah.
I must see to it that the terrible bioweapon I created is no longer a threat to anyone. If that makes me a traitor, so be it. So maybe that's why he just left, because he realized that the Mewtwo he was making was going to be too powerful or something. Maybe that's the
Yeah.
extent of it. Maybe it's not that deep, you know? Maybe just like, man, maybe
He's
I made a
literally just like
mistake.
regretting what he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So beyond the sea route is Palatown. Farewell, Red. So yeah, well, looks like Red's gonna go back to Palatown. There and back again. Couldn't. Okay, so now we get Sabrina looking menacing. I like
Yo, for real.
villain
Like
Sabrina.
for Moltres and this guy to be kneeling basically
Yeah,
just shows you how badass Sabrina's character is.
and we do not get whether unfortunate or fortunate. We don't get a Zapdos chapter. Might have been a
But
bit repetitive.
fitting that Lieutenant Surge got it
True.
at the
But
power
then
plant.
then he lost to a 14-year-old. So
Yeah, yeah, pussy. Hit him with the thunderbolt, Raichu.
yeah, right. Did he actually beat it with another electric type? Hard doubt.
I think he's from Staten Island.
Well, now that Mewtwo project is ruined, these will be our aces in the hole. Well,
Wait a minute.
okay.
Hold on. Scroll down. That is not what I think it is. Is that 3 Master Balls?
No, there are H's on there.
Oh. I was going to get a little upset.
That would be wild. And using your Master Balls on the legendary.
What do the
birds
H's
would be
stand for?
Crazy. I don't know. Maybe they're actually supposed to be used.
Yeah,
Maybe
having
they're
like
Ultra Balls.
that
I don't
many
know.
of them too.
Maybe we'll look into it. More. I'll look into that for next episode.
All right, hit it with the final chapter.
Bada bing, bada boom. That was 30 pages, by the way, for that last chapter. This one's only 18.
Felt like it was.
We get Homegirl back, Miss Thoughty Thought Green.
Just trying to give this man a hand job to get through the door.
Seriously, come on.
Cool that they did that though. Like you did need something to get through the door. We gave water bottles, you know.
But then he said, "Be gone, Thought."
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
Sigma male energy.
Look at that. Look at that town. Look at that town.
That does feel like what Saffron felt like.
Yeah, this was a bit of a curveball from. Okay, funny. Okay, first off, curveball, because I was like, wait, we got blue now. Where blue is the focus in the last chapter. That's crazy. And then we get like literally just a Game Boy screenshot.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. It's like
that's amazing. Right. That's amazing.
So,
That's hilarious.
Blue,
They really use the
blue.
exact same one.
And then we get the realization that Blue has a Charizard now, which is kind of crazy. So I guess we'll get Venusaur in the next and Blastoise. Ooh, I could see that happening. We get the trio together in the end.
Mm,
That would be sick. We got to get a panel of that. That might be
hmm.
that if that actually happens, that could be number one for best panel.
Really?
Um,
More than Dragonite? More than Poliwhirl getting stabbed?
I mean,
More than
that's iconic
Gyarados and
too.
Dragonite hyper beaming?
Possibly, possibly. Um, okay, so Blue's on this
The
Charizard
Derpy
flying, and
Jigglypuff.
then we see
They're just trying to fly over the
Jigglypuff.
zone. They can't.
She's looking for Mew, I guess. Still, um,
She's looking
I
extra funky.
I'll
She
just
got the
pretend I
shades
didn't
on.
see that. No, don't. There's a, and then boom, he hits the force field. This barrier is being produced by a psychic Pokemon, but to surround the whole city with it must be one heck of a powerful Pokemon. So naturally, Blue's like, I want to just break through it, and then uses his Charizard's Fire Blast or whatever. That doesn't work. It's pretty strong. I bet Grandpa knows something about this. So Blue yeets off, and Green is just floating with Puff. So we go back to Palatown with Red. We basically crash cut to Red in Palatown. Now this is crazy.
Yo,
Like
this
lore
this made
all
me
over the place
realize like
here.
where this like evil
Yeah.
oak like
Yeah.
the cards that they made came from.
Yes. This was so cool to finally see like the origins of this.
Yeah.
And so we're in Palatown, and Palatown is not what it seems. Everyone else is gone basically, and Professor Oak is, whether it's Professor Oak or not, it's we get the imposter, quote unquote, Professor Oak
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and he's kind
Just
of a
like the card.
beast. Yeah, he's scary. He's like a Jekyll Hyde type of a deal. I don't know if it's actually Professor Oak like mind. His mind is like just like messed up because of the
No,
psychic
I think they
powers,
kidnapped him.
or
He wasn't
so
there.
this is
It was
this
just
is just
it was
straight
an
up imposter
apparition.
then.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Interesting. So yeah, the dude, the Professor Oak is using laser beams out of his eyeball. It's crazy. Get just a whole bunch of like supernatural stuff happening. Um Now, okay, 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 okay. So it actually ends up being
Show yourself.
a Kadabra.
Al
That's what happened.
That's
Pretty cool.
cool.
Pretty cool.
So Drowsy and Kadabra can do like little mind games.
I guess they take a lot of freedoms with the psychic Pokemon, but I'm totally about that. I think
Yeah.
doing all that stuff's sick.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
especially
extra
because it's a manga.
abilities.
Yeah. You don't need to
Yeah.
be as hardcore with like this can only do these 4 moves, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because it's not a game. So yeah, I think it's cool that we could take liberties like that. Then we get Sabrina in her full Team Rocket outfit, and I'm about this. She might be. I don't know. Is she best girl Team Rocket? She might be.
She
She
looking
might be.
kind of waifu-y here. Do some
I
great
mean,
shots of her.
great shot.
Like, hey,
Yeah. I mean, seriously, and she's putting up
bitch.
a fight. She's not even sweating. Um, au revoir. So yeah, she puts up a big fight. And she basically calls Red out, and this kind of, I guess, takes us to the end, right? Because yeah, she kind of leaves after they kind of fight, and that's kind of this signal to go, okay, that's where I'm going next. And then Blue, from the beginning of the chapter, finally reaches Palatown to go ask his grandpa, aka Professor Oak, and he arrives to see all this. So I think we're about to see the team up of the century. Uh, the final battle between our two forces is about to begin. That seems like something a narrator should say and not something Blue would say, but it is what it is.
Yeah, fair.
Because, but yeah, this is this now we're probably gonna get our shonen arc now in the next one. We're gonna see a lot of crazy fights, I think. But yeah, that rounds out volume 2. I think that puts us on a really nice cliffhanger.
Wait, good. Go to the next thing. Did they show the party? So Pikachu's level 21. I just thought this was interesting. Pikachu's level 21. So he's not even like his main squeeze, right? Is that what it says? 21 or 31?
On my end, I need to scroll up for a sec. So hold on. It says 21. Yeah,
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So Pikachu's actually his lowest level Pokemon.
that is crazy. An Aerodactyl just right out of the gate is 25.
Yep. Poliwrath is 40, so you can tell where the favorites were. His like starter Pokemon's right under 38. Snorlax is 31. Gyarados is 29. I just thought it was really interesting that they basically show you what the
Yo,
writers and creators favorited.
they
Like,
actually have the nicknames too. Pika, Sword,
oh,
Poliwrath,
cool.
Gyara,
Gyat.
Arrow, Gyat,
Arrow.
Gyata.
Another very unflattering photo of Aerodactyl.
I
I
know.
will say. This looks like I
Gross
drew that.
guy.
This is like if you told me like try to draw an Aerodactyl.
Well, that I didn't want to like completely shit on the art, but like that's why I was uh, like you get some really great shots, but then like you get like this, and it's like just like a couple like boxes. It's like like if this one building was rendered out like every other building, it would look like a really nice city. But it's like we're just gonna render this one building, and then everything else I'm just gonna just throw like a couple lines here and there.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fine. It gets the
Yeah.
point across. It looks like the Game Boy thing, like you said. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but for me, it's like that seems a little lazy, a
Yeah.
little lazy.
Especially with so much detail put everywhere else.
Oh, and Charizard's face is a little wonky there. Like,
Very wonky. Very wonky. Not threatening at all. He looks like he's about to shit himself. That about to go on this adventure together. So I thought this was cool. I thought it was cool that they rounded it out with like almost like a party team update. Um, I thought that was cool. I thought it was like because you always wonder like who's really the strongest, and now you know based on the levels, you know.
wait, who did we kick out? Because we had to add
Eevee,
Aerodactyl.
Eevee,
Oh, Eevee's gone.
immediately.
Eevee's gone.
Why would we waste our time with that fucking thing? That trauma induced Eevee. No one's trying to bring that along the fucking journey.
PTS,
Yeah, the
PTSD.
PT EVSTSD. Real
Okay,
cool. Oh, and also they do the badges and how many Pokemon.
46, 46 Pokemon. It's crazy.
Oh wait, they consider he beat Lieutenant Surge too, technically.
Maybe Blaine gave him one.
Nah, dude, it had to have been Lieutenant Surge.
Misty,
No,
Brock,
Brock, Misty, Erica, and Surge. They're counting the Surge one as a badge.
Erica.
Did they give him a? Did he give him a badge? I don't remember that. We're gonna have to go back.
Are we retarded? Did we forget something? Who gave him the?
Because he didn't fight Blaine.
Who? No, I think he should only have 3. I think that's a typo. There's no way he has 4.
Damn it! Now it's gonna bug me.
Cads, chat, help us, help us.
When did he get it? Whose badge was it? Chronologically, it would have to be Surge,
No,
but
because he would have had 3 by the time Erica gave him 3.
you're right.
He had 2 at the beginning of the
You're
volume.
right. You're
I'm the
right.
king.
And he
I'm the
kept saying,
king.
I got two.
2.
I got two badges. I got fucking two badges.
So I'm just, yeah. It had to have been. I don't know.
That's gonna keep me up at night. All right, Cads. Well, this was volume 2 in a nice, short, simple 2 hours.
We were kind of booking it too.
I know.
We like skipped chapters, kind of.
So please put this on 1.5x if you're listening. And we're gonna go try to figure out where that fourth badge came from until volume 3. Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm just looking
Summary
forward to volume
thoughts?
3. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll kind of get Duncan's point of view on these, like at the beginning of probably next video.
Yeah.
Just to kind of at the same time keep him in the loop, and also kind of just so you guys can have his opinions on this stuff. And then, but yeah, I having a lot of fun with this. Hope you all are too. And on that bombshell, good night, cats.